Relax. It can all change in an instant. Quantum leaps are not only possible, they actually happen all the time. It may not presently seem like the things that you want to manifest are going to come true for you, but things can change at any time and in the flash of an eye. So if you're currently holding on to any anxiety or tension or worry about the things that you want to manifest into your life, this video is going to serve as a very powerful reminder that all you need to do is relax. So go ahead and enjoy it. And whenever you need that reminder again, because whenever we're manifesting new things, we can get into that place of worry, come back and watch this to get you back into that relaxed state so that you can easily manifest your dream. Also, I have something else I'm going to save for the end of the video. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I have a new course that's going live. It has gone live and I have a coupon code for it. If you are interested in that program, again, make sure to watch to the end so you can get that code and I'll tell you all about it. But for now, let's jump into the content for this video. And so I want to share with you a few examples. And these are things that you may have had similar examples. And if you have, go ahead and share them below. But these are all examples about the power of relaxation and how it can give you this quantum leap where you go from really not having what you want at all to instantly getting it. And I really wanted to choose things here that are relatable so that it reminds you of your power as a manifester. So if there's anything that you're kind of holding on to tightly, it'll help you relax. So here's the first example I wanted to share. So this is an example. This is something that's actually happened to me a bunch of times where I've kind of let go and something great has happened. And it always used to happen with jobs. So back in the day, I used to have like regular jobs. And there were 3 separate times, and these were all times before I knew anything about the law of attraction. But there were 3 separate occasions where I went from a place of not having a job and being really stressed out because especially when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have the financial support of my parents. I was really kind of a paycheck to paycheck, scary kind of situation. Okay, that's kind of what I was living. And in each of those 3 situations where I needed a job, this simple act of like relaxing yielded results. So I wanted to share one of these that I haven't talked about before on my channel. So if you've been watching for a while, this is a new story. I haven't shared this one, but this is like way back when I was a real hot mess. And one of my first jobs that I ever had was I worked for a Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant. If you're an old timer like me, do you remember Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurants? Let me know. I'm curious who all has heard of that. But yes, I used to work for a Chi-Chi's Mexican restaurant and I had to pay my bills working at said restaurant. And so I did things like I waited tables, I hosted, I also was a line cook, a busser. I did it all at that Chi-Chi's restaurant. And I did it all, but I had a bit of an attitude problem back then. And I got fired. And I got fired on the spot. I was line cooking one night and I mouthed off to my manager and he kicked me out. And that was pretty unfortunate because at that time I really didn't have any money. I had rent to pay, I had a car payment to pay, I had bills to pay, and I was relying on this restaurant job to do all of that for me. And initially I was very stressed out. Very stressed out. I went home, I cried, I freaked out for a while. I was living with some roommates, I commiserated with them. And then I decided, you know what? Screw this. I'm going out tonight. And so instead of continuing to worry and instead of trying to conserve my money or trying to strategize how I was going to get myself out of this pickle, I decided to go out and party with my friends. And when I went out that night, I ended up at a place where I met up with a friend who had worked with me at Chi-Chi's in the past, but he had moved on to work at a restaurant across the street. It was a sports bar. And we got to talking and he's like, hey, my sister is actually the manager of this sports bar and I could get you an interview there. I'm like, great. And they actually got me the interview the very next day she saw me. And she saw me, she hired me on the spot. She actually ended up becoming a good friend. And the really cool thing about this is that at the sports bar, I made probably at least 5 times as much money at that sports bar than I did at the Chi-Chi's. And it was from this simple act of saying, screw it, I'm going out. Now, have you ever had that experience where things looked really, really dire and you just said, you know what, I'm just going to relax and take it easy. I don't even care. And then all of a sudden, something really awesome showed up. If that's ever happened to you, please go ahead and share that below in the comments as a powerful reminder to anybody else who's watching and who is looking for reminders on the power of just letting go and relaxing. Go ahead and share your stories below. All right, now here's something else. This one just happened a couple days ago. It was actually my husband who brought it up to me, but it's something that's happened to me thousands of times. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Hundreds of times. Probably hundreds of times. This one's happened a lot to me, but my husband, this happened to him and he brought it up. He had gone out of town on business about a week ago. And when he went to the airport, it was really busy. And so it was one of those situations where he wanted to park in short-term parking, but short-term parking was really, really full. In fact, as he was pulling in, they were shutting it down because there just wasn't any more space in the lot. And so he had to go all the way up short-term parking, all the way to the very top. And he was looking for spots and just couldn't find one. And he was starting to freak out because he had to make his flight and he didn't want to have to drive all the way to long-term parking. And all of a sudden, he just decided, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and move on out of here since this isn't working. And in the second he made that decision, I'm just not even going to bother looking anymore. I'm done with this, and went to go leave, right in front of him, a car pulled right out. And it was like in the absolute perfect spot. It was covered, whereas the other parts of the roof were not covered. And he likes sitting under like a covered roof. And he got this perfect spot. And it happened in that exact instance that he said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go somewhere else. This isn't working. Now that parking example, I've seen that happen a bunch to me where I wanted that nice little spot right up front, but all the spots were filled. And I'm like, you know what, whatever, I'll go park and back. And then boom, the spot that I wanted opened up. Has that ever happened to you? If so, that's another really great example of how when you relax, suddenly exactly what you want shows up. All right, we've got some more here on how when you relax, things that you want just show up. Things can change in just an instant. But first, if you enjoy law of attraction videos that teach you how to manifest the life of your dreams, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, go ahead and turn on the handy notification bell. I put out content like this every single week, and I know you're going to enjoy it. Also, if you are new to my work, I would love to invite you to take my very quick 5-minute law of attraction test. If you want to know for sure that you, yes, you, really are the creator of your reality, I've designed a very simple, very quick 5-minute test where you can prove it to yourself. Put something out and watch it come back. And to take that test now, please go to manifestingtest.com. Again, that is manifestingtest.com. I'll also go ahead and put a link to that test below in the description, but manifestingtest.com is the direct link. All right, but I want to share another story with you. This one has to do with manifesting friends. And so this is something I've talked about before on my channel, that there was a period of time when I had started working in the law of attraction and raising my vibration and all that kind of stuff, and I had lost a lot of friends. Now, has that ever happened to you? You ever gone through that? It does happen sometimes when people go through like their spiritual awakening or they work on changing their limitations. When you change the way you look at the world, sometimes you're no longer in resonance with the cast of characters around you. And you can see suddenly that large groups of people can kind of go out of your life. And that was something that happened to me. And for a very long time, several years in fact, I was trying to figure out how to make friends. I kept meeting people, but, for whatever reason, it wouldn't quite click. Like the person would move away or we would just fall out of touch. And I couldn't seem to get in that mojo where I had this nice group of friends around me like I had been used to in the past. Well, when my husband and I moved to this home, it had been several years before I'd had kind of like this pack of friends. And I remember being very stressed out for a while about this and being very resistant and really trying to manifest friends and it not working. And right before we moved into this house, my husband asked me a question. He goes, are you going to try to make friends with our new neighbors? And when I looked at him, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done with that. I'm done trying. Like, I'm over it. I'm just, whatever. I'm happy to be on my own. It's cool. And it was really remarkable because literally the day we moved into this house, the guy that sold us this home actually lives in this neighborhood and he stopped by just to see us as we moved in. And he invited us. He said, there's a block party that's going on tomorrow down the street, on the other street from you guys. You guys should come. I'm like, okay. We went to that block party and I ended up meeting a bunch of new people. And since then, I've developed from that initial meeting a really strong network of people inside of the neighborhood that I work with. I've got probably about 9 or so women that I'm super, super close with now. And it all kind of happened right at that moment where I just gave up and said, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to chill. That's when it happened. And it happened like instantly when I moved into this neighborhood from that attitude of, I'm just not going to try. So yes, even relationships, full-on relationships can develop from that place of just completely letting go and just letting them in. Now, if you are in a position where you've been trying to manifest a love relationship, not a friendship, but a romantic relationship, or perhaps you're already in a committed partnership, but you just don't have that spark anymore. That passion just seems to have gone away. If you're having any of these issues where you're wanting to have a long-lasting, enduring, and passionate partnership, whether you're single or if you have an ex that you're kind of going back and forth with, maybe you have your eye on somebody but it hasn't quite worked, or you have a committed partner, if you're in any of those situations, but your love life is just not where you want it to be, and you really want to get it into that high-flying place, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I do have my newest program is officially live, and that program is called Magnetic Appeal. It is my love attraction program. And that program is really designed for anyone who's having at least one of these following 4 issues. If you're dealing with issues of self-worth and or insecurity about your ability to either draw in a partner or maintain a very fiery and passionate connection with someone, this is a great course for you. Or if you are dealing with issues of always attracting in people who are emotionally unavailable, either people who ghost you or string you along, or maybe they're there, but they're not really there, this is a good program for you. If you're dealing with issues of healing from past relationships where maybe you got your heart broken or you're worried that that kind of thing is going to happen again, this is a great program for you. And or if you're finding that your life's responsibilities are getting in the way of you either attracting a partner or keeping a partner, like maybe, the things with the kids going on and all the pressures at work are keeping you from having a passionate and fiery romance, this is a great program for you. Again, like I mentioned, this program has recently gone live, and right now, for a very limited time, You can get it for 50% off during this launch week. And so if you'd like to get that program, I do have a QR code up here somewhere. I also have a link below in the description where you can go check out that program. And to get it right now for 50% off, you can use the coupon code CONNECT at checkout. Again, use the coupon code CONNECT at checkout. That'll give you 50% off, but it's for a very narrow window of time. That coupon code will be expiring on Thursday, March 21st. So if you're interested, please, please, please go check it out now before the rate jumps up. But I really do hope that you enjoyed today's video on how if you relax, it can all change in an instant. Thanks so much for watching today's video. And of course, I look forward to bringing you another one soon. Bye-bye.